Hey, what's going on guys, and welcome to the video. I've got another gross minivan in today. This one is a 2016 Chrysler Town & Country, and it might just take the prize for being the dirtiest minivan ever. Alright, before we get to all the goodies waiting on the inside, I'll give you a quick look at the exterior of this van, and as you can see, the entire thing is covered in dirt from front to back, likely from driving on gravel roads as there's a little bit of mud in the wheel wells, and overall it's looking pretty grungy everywhere. But unfortunately, that is nothing compared to the interior, as there isn't a single inch or surface that is clean. It's almost hard to grasp just how dirty this van is. From the nasty cup holders to the disgusting door compartments, the horribly dirty carpets and floor mats to the trunk with all kinds of gross stains. This van has enough French fries, chicken nuggets, and hot dogs in it to feed someone for a week. But as if that wasn't enough, the second row seat bins have turned into garbage cans and are full of old food. The level of grime in here is unmatched by anything I have ever seen before, as every inch of every single surface in here needs some extreme deep cleaning. But just before we dive into all those French fries, take a quick second and subscribe to the channel and turn the bell on so you don't ever miss out on one of these epic transformations. Alright guys, well now that you've seen what I'm up against, wish me luck, because this is going to be one heck of a challenge. And as always, sit back, relax, and enjoy the transformation. Alright, so as usual, I'm running the ozone machine in here before I start, mostly to try to knock down some of the smell before I get to the interior, as it was rather unpleasant with all that old food. And then starting on the pre-wash rinse, you might be wondering why I'm working in the garage today. And that's simply because it was super windy outside and really not a very nice day weather-wise, so I'll stay nice and warm in the garage and won't have to worry about drenching myself because of the wind. And make sure you guys stick around until the end of the video, as I was able to record the customer's reaction to the transformation, and it's definitely a good one. Moving to the back where most of the dirt is, and for those of you who are wondering what pressure washer I'm using, because I get asked dozens of times every week, it's a 110 volt electric Bertolini pressure washer that pushes 1900 psi at 2 gallons a minute, and with its cleaning power rivaling that of my much noisier gas powered Honda, I've pretty well made the switch over to this one, as I've got it set up really nice with a hose reel now, and the fact it's so quiet is a big plus since I wash in the garage so often. So for anyone who's curious, the link to the site where I bought it from is at the top of the description. Alright, so moving to the door jambs, and I'm not really sure how it happens, but there was a bunch of garbage and French fries in them that needed to get sprayed out as they were really stuck on. So using the pressure washer is really the easiest and quickest way to get these clean. Now for the foam bath, you might notice that my soap has gone from pink to blue, and that's because I recently switched to a new soap as I was finding Mr. Pink was producing too many suds for my liking, and it was more likely to leave soap residue behind when I wash vehicles outside. So with the jug empty, I cracked into a gallon of Adams car wash soap, and so far I'm really liking it as it doesn't produce quite as many suds. Now starting on drying this van, and I was just as shocked as you guys are that Mike finally, after what seems like ages, finally came out to give me a hand. And if you're wondering where he's been, he wanted me to tell you that he's been self-quarantining on the couch and didn't think it was safe to come out and help me. Although between you and me, I think he's just using that as an excuse for being lazy. Alright, so with the outside clean and dry, it's finally time to start on the massive job that this interior is going to be. So I'll quickly get the second row seats and some of the trim removed, as it's going to be far easier to clean everything outside of the vehicle, and then taking a quick look at the carnage that's still remaining. And I know I'm looking at a good 14 plus hours of work, and fortunately these storage bin liners are easily removed. So with everything out, I'm starting with getting the floor mats cleaned, and once I've vacuumed up all the loose dirt and debris, I'll get some carpet solution down to loosen up all the dirt and grime, and then blast them with the pressure washer. And for the couple of stubborn grimy spots that didn't come off, I'll be hitting those later on when I've got the steamer out. And you might also notice that I'm using the stiffer yellow drill brush instead of the soft white one, and that's because I knew that with floor mats and carpet as dirty and grimy as these are, I would need a bit more agitating power on some of those gross spots. Now I'm not certain, but one of these mats had some wet pink stuff all over it that looked and smelled exactly like vomit. So that was definitely a bit of a shock, as the mat was buried in the trunk when it was dropped off. But luckily the drill brush made quick work of it, and I could just blast the mat clean. Now I figured you guys would want to see all the garbage get dumped from the storage bin liners, and it's maybe hard to tell, but these liners are made of a super cheap material, and of course there was a fair amount of stuff really stuck on. So knowing that, I'm going to opt to hit them with the pressure washer rather than trying to extract them, as it will be the far easier way to get them clean. Alright, so moving back inside, and just before I can start on vacuuming, I'm quickly going around and picking up all the bigger garbage and debris that is too big to get sucked up by the vacuum. So a lot of the French fries, chicken nuggets, and of course that half-eaten hot dog. Now working my way around the vehicle, and you might notice there are a couple of pieces of gum that are stuck in the carpet, and unfortunately those aren't going to come out with the vacuum or the extractor, so I'll show you how I deal with gum a little bit later on, but for now I'll make sure every bit of dirt, debris, and all those French fries are sucked up so the carpet is ready to be extracted. Now I should also mention that along with removing the second row seats, I also dismantled the center console as much as I needed to so that I could unearth some more treasure, and with a lot of it being really stuck on, even the detail brush can't quite get it loosened up, so again, I'll hit that area with the steamer later on. Here's the giant pile of garbage, French fries, and a whole lot of other gross stuff that was sucked out of this van. And to be honest, it didn't seem like that much when it was spread all around the vehicle. Alright, it's finally time to get to work on these dirty carpets, and like I mentioned earlier, I'm using the yellow drill brush for the carpets as there are so many stains and grimy areas in here that I know I need some extra power. And I'm starting with the trunk area so that it has as much time as possible to dry out before I end up storing the third row seats in here. And unfortunately, given the severity of some of the stains in here, I'm not expecting them all to come out, but as you guys know, I'll do everything that I can to get these carpets looking new again. Now for anyone wondering what extractor I'm using, like I've mentioned before, it's a Bissell Spot Clean Professional and is a tool that I would very highly recommend as it provides ample suction to get all kinds of dirt and stains out of carpets or seats. And if you've seen any of my other videos, you know just how well the combo of the carpet solution, drill brush, and Bissell work. So if you're interested, the link to it all is in the description for you. Now since it can be a bit of a challenge to extract down in the seat anchor points, I picked up a crevice attachment for the Bissell, and while it works well, I do think it's easier to just pop the carpet up and use the regular nozzle, but if you're working in a really tight area or along a piece of trim that can't be removed, it would work great for that. Now for any of the little spots that you might see that weren't able to be sucked up by the extractor, like the white piece of gum there, I will be hitting those areas later on with the steamer, so you don't have to worry, nothing was missed. I just simply have a process of how I attack a vehicle like this, and some things just have to wait. Moving up to the strips of carpet by the sliding doors, and you guys will notice how the solution sort of ends up getting flung all around the vehicle when I use the drill brush. So for those of you who might be wondering, I do clean up the mess it makes once I'm done with the carpets, including lifting the carpet to make sure that everything is clean and dry. Now since a couple of the anchor points were pretty heavily stained, I'll hit them with a smaller drill brush attachment, and like I mentioned earlier, it's easier with this van to just pop the carpet up and extract as I normally would to get it clean. Here's all the gross and nasty water pulled from the carpet in this van, and this is definitely one of the dirtiest water pours I've had. Gross. Alright, with the carpets clean, it's time to bust out the steamer and tackle all the super grimy areas in this van. And trust me, there were a lot of them, as every inch of plastic trim in here needed to be steamed. So I'll work my way around the interior with a variety of attachments, using a detail brush to agitate where needed, and then simply wipe things clean with a microfiber towel. Now for one of the spots where there was a piece of gum stuck on, there's really no better way to get gum out than with a steamer, as the steam is able to almost instantly melt the gum off whatever it's stuck to, and by the time it flies off and lands close by, it's already cooled enough that it won't stick to anything else, so you can simply just pick up the couple of pieces and then toss them out. And as I work on the back of the driver's seat here, This is a perfect example of how well a steamer works and why you should have one if you enjoy detailing your own vehicles, as not only is it a ton of fun to use, it will basically make super quick work of any kind of crud or grime. So if any of you are in the market for one, a link to the McCulloch steamer that I use is in the description for you, along with nearly every other product and tool that I use, so feel free to check it out if you're interested. Now, not something I film very often, but for the super grimy cup holder and storage bin inserts, I figured I would again show you how well the steamer works. So using the soft brush attachment and some all-purpose cleaner takes about a minute, and then quickly getting all the crud rinsed off, it honestly looks brand new again. Turning to the second row trim piece here, and there was no less than 6 pieces of gum stuck to it. So again, steaming it is the easiest way to get the gum and all the other grime removed. But since this was one of the dirtiest parts of the vehicle and has lots of corners and crevices, it unfortunately does take a bit of time to get it perfectly clean. Here's a quick shot of what this van looked like before, and now it truly doesn't even look like the same vehicle. It's looking so good. Alright, with the leather seats conditioned, now I'll work my way around the vehicle, applying 303's aerospace protectant to dress and most importantly UV protect all the plastic trim in here. And if you guys haven't picked up a bottle of this stuff yet, you are seriously missing out. It truly is amazing stuff, and also works wonders on old faded exterior plastic and can even be used to dress tires. Moving to the glass now, and one thing you'll always see me do is roll down the windows so I can clean the top edge as it only takes a second and is something that is guaranteed to be noticed by the customer if you don't.
Hey, come on in.
How are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Good.
Good.
Wow. Seeing it shining from coming down the street there. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Wow.
Looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Was it pretty nasty?
It's pretty gross. I'm not gonna lie.
4 kids.
Yeah, 4 kids in the love road.
Yeah, it's all undone now though, so.
Holy, you're amazing.
Thank you.
I
I
told
love
them
it.
their shoes and socks off at the door. Really good.
Thank you so much. I love it so
Absolutely.
much.
Yeah, no, my pleasure.
Holy cow, look at the seats even.
Okay, alright, we'll keep hearing it and hope you guys enjoy it.
Thank
so.
you.
Thank you so much. Wow.
Alright guys, and nearly 20 hours later, I'm finally done with the minivan. That was definitely one for the record books, as I'm not sure I'll ever see another vehicle quite that dirty. So if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you smash that thumbs up button, share it with a family member or a friend, and show them how disgusting that van was when I started. And as always, make sure you're subscribed to the channel if you want to see more epic transformations like this. Enjoy the guitar outro, and I'll see you guys in the next one.